The GSXR 1000 comes from the factory with a passenger seat, which is something that you would expect. But if you've deleted the passenger pegs and are using a passenger peg delete bracket for your exhaust, we've pretty much rendered that passenger seat useless. What you need is a solo cowl to clean up the look of this motorcycle. There we go. Yeah, that's way better looking. Definitely cleans up the back of the bike. Goes along with the solo theme. But guys, there are levels to this seat cowl game. So let's talk about them and see which one really might be the right one for you. So what do I mean by levels? Well, the cowl on the left, which is the one that was just on the bike, this is an aftermarket unit from, you would find them on eBay or Amazon, for example, for about 80 bucks. This one on the right, this is a factory solo cowl, and this is gonna run you more like $200. Now the difference, well, let's talk about that. Beginning with the finish, I had to clay bar the aftermarket piece. The finish itself, if you rub your fingers on it, it sounded like sandpaper. Obviously, the factory piece didn't need any kind of work. The paint quality is really nice on this. Plus, it matches the metallic feature of this paint that's on my bike from the factory. No metallic in this paint. Not necessarily a bad thing though, because when you put it on a black cowl, unless you're really trying to investigate a color difference, it's kind of hard to tell that it's a different color. It's just glossy black. So what about the fitment? Well, let's take a look at that. So I'm going to fit the aftermarket cowl first. Pops right into place. All of them are going to have a little bit of a rattle. They're kind of spring held with the actual latch. But to give you an idea, there's what the gap looks like. That's how it fits at the back of the rear cowling. I'm going to try to get you an idea. You can see some of the metallic, and then you can see, well, some of this questionably qualitied finish on that solo cowl from the aftermarket. But you know what? If you stand away from the bike, you really can't tell. And unless you're in really direct sunlight, I don't know that it would really be a problem to have this cowl on this bike. The factory piece, on the other hand, definitely fits better. As you can see, much cleaner execution once you fit the thing to the bike. Doesn't really rattle around near as much. And of course, it's finished in the same paint, so you can see that metallic really start to pop once I get the light to shine on it. Yeah, you can kind of tell where your money's been spent already. So we've seen the fit, but let's see what makes them fit. So when you flip these over, some things you're going to notice, little bit of a difference. They look practically identical in the seat for reference. Yeah, pretty much the same. The factory piece has these solid rubber grommets that comes with this piece from the factory. The aftermarket uses these rubber stoppers that you're going to get off of your seat. So that may contribute a little bit to it being a little bit looser fit. This is going to allow for a little bit of cushion where this is absolutely not. But they both offer up, as you can see in the seat, where place where you can put your Allen keys. Both of them come with those provisions here. A little bit different design between the two, but at least they both have that feature. One thing I want to point out before I forget, as far as shape and size of the plastic itself, they are all but identical. To my eye, I cannot see a difference between the two. So I guess the big question is, which one is best for you? I'll tell you what, there's not a lot of problems with this aftermarket piece. It fits just fine, and it looks great once it's on the bike, and, well, you're not really trying to look for a color variance. I think where the aftermarket really has a place is if you have a bike that you plan on painting, you're going to put a different set of plastics on it, something along those lines, something where you're not going to be using factory colored parts. I think this is the best option. It fits great. there's really no issue, provided you get these little stop grommets. Again, you might have to pull them off of your seat. Again, just to show you again, this is where those were. Yeah, you're gonna need to get those stops off of there, but that's really all you need to make this fit, because it does not come with those parts. But that would be the best option, I think, if you're going to be going that route. If you've got a race bike or something like that, but you're still going to be running street style plastics, you might be swinging a leg over this thing a lot. You end up kicking this thing with your boot. Yeah, you're not really losing a lot here. Whereas with the factory, where this has its best option here for you is if you've got a factory bike with factory plastics and you want the best look and the best finish overall. Yeah, you're going to want to go ahead and spend the extra money. It sounds like a lot, but you know what, in the grand scheme of things, if you're a little bit of a perfectionist, and most motorcycle guys can be that way, I don't know that you'd be happy with this when this factory piece is available. So they both have their place. Their price point proves that you can have a less expensive part that is actually a better fit for some folks than the factory more expensive. So with that, guys, post up your comments. Let me know what you think. We'll get out of here. So guys, I wanted to get you some end of the roll footage here. This is the aftermarket cowl, and you may be picking up on it being a slightly different shade of black. It's kind of hard to tell though, and this is in some pretty rough lighting. I've got a big LED light sitting right behind it. You can see the reflection of it in that cowl. But this is the aftermarket, and well, this is about the ugliest lighting I think you can get. And to be honest, it doesn't really look all that bad. Well, it doesn't look all that bad until you throw the factory piece on. And again, same lighting, same everything. Yeah, that is so clean. It just disappears into the factory plastic, which is what you would expect considering what you're going to spend on this. The only thing, this is just me speaking my mind about this, but the only thing that spooks me about the factory piece is the price. And I could just see, you know, going to pop the thing off to, I don't know, get insurance cards out of it or put something underneath that cowl and accidentally dropping it and just gacking up a $200 piece. Just me knowing that I'm a little bit of a butterfinger sometimes. But anyway, don't want to put that out into the world, but you get what I'm talking about. Sometimes that inexpensive piece can buy you a little bit of peace of mind too. Anyway, okay, now it's a wrap.